In this edition of the Red and Blue Political Roundup, Joe Biden has officially entered the presidential race. The former vice president made his long-anticipated announcement Thursday. In a video posted to social media, Biden says he's running because he believes we are in the battle for the soul of this nation.
The core values of this nation, our standing in the world, our very democracy, everything that has made America, America is at stake. That's why today I'm announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Long considered a frontrunner for the nomination, the 76-year-old is hoping the third time's the charm. He previously ran for president in 1988 and 2008. President Trump weighed in on the 21st Democratic candidate. In a tweet Thursday, he warned Biden the primary will be nasty, adding, "But if you make it, I will see you at the starting gate." Let's bring in Ken Thomas. He's a national political reporter for the Wall Street Journal. Ken, Biden was in the White House for 8 years as vice president, as we know. How could this help or hurt his chances at the nomination this time around?
He's going to run as an Obama-Biden Democrat, and he has the benefit of Barack Obama being extremely popular in the party right now. There's a lot of goodwill for those 8 years. People look back on that time fondly now. But he's going to have to win the nomination on his own, and President Obama is not likely to endorse anytime soon. We spoke to Obama's team, and the thinking there is just that President Obama thinks that this should be a vigorous primary, and he himself was helped in 2007 and 2008 by a tough primary, and that Biden is better off to just pursue this campaign on his own. Biden, for his part, told reporters in Delaware that he actually told Obama that he didn't think he should endorse, and that he's going to handle it himself.
I know you've reported on Biden's campaign finances. You write, Biden has expressed concern to Democratic fundraisers that he won't be able to make a splash with early online donations the way Senator Bernie Sanders and other candidates have. What kind of remedy to this can we expect from Biden's campaign?
Well, they're going to make a big push in the first day or two to raise a lot of money. As we speak, Joe Biden's at a fundraiser in Philadelphia right now. It's a high-dollar event with people like former Governor Ed Rendell. But they feel like it's important to be able to lay down a marker that he can raise money early on, that there's a lot of pent-up demand for his candidacy. And, we expect to see some kind of 24-hour fundraising number tomorrow. A key question, though, will be how much of that is online. Does he have the ability to raise money online? It's unlikely he'll be able to do it at the same clip as a Bernie Sanders or a Beto O'Rourke. But he needs to raise money quickly. He's behind compared to some of the other candidates, and we're going to see him doing a lot of fundraising events in the first few weeks. I know they have a big event in Hollywood that's planned in early May. You're going to see people like Jeffrey Katzenberg and Rob Reiner at that one. So look for Biden to basically move past this idea of worrying about optics. They feel like they just need to raise money to show force.
I'm going to go back in time. In 1991, Biden oversaw then Supreme Court nominee Clarence Thomas's confirmation hearings. Anita Hill testified then that Thomas sexually harassed her. We've learned Biden called Hill Thursday. Do we know how that conversation went?
Well, we're told that the conversation happened recently, and that from his standpoint, he expressed his regret over how the things that she had to endure during the confirmation hearing. He expressed admiration to her for how she has advanced the cause of people fighting against sexual harassment. But the New York Times spoke to Professor Hill, and she seems to be very unsatisfied with the conversation conversation, she said that she didn't really characterize it as an apology, which is something Joe Biden has said he needed to give her. So it's also a very interesting and curious timing why you would want this story to be out now on the first day of his campaign. We know that this conversation took place sometime this month, but it seems odd that they didn't put this out earlier, and separate it from the launch of the campaign.
Ken, Bernie Sanders is another contender in this race who has both the name recognition and a presidential campaign under his belt. Does Biden's entrance steal any of Sanders' thunder?
I think they're in different lanes right now. Bernie Sanders has a lot of support that he built over the last few years from his campaign in 2015 and 2016. He raised more than $18 million in the first quarter. He has almost a million individual donors at this point. He's from a different wing of the party, I believe. Joe Biden is going to come at this from a more centrist, moderate position. He's going to be someone who talks about the Obama years. And so we could really have a clash between these two views of the party and these two perspectives on where the party needs to go in the future. A Sanders view, which is a much more expansive government, and a Biden approach, which would be more about rebuilding some of the things that have been lost during the Trump years and then trying to build upon the work that he did with President Obama.
In other political news, the tensions between the White House and congressional Democrats are rising. Earlier this week, the president sued the House Oversight Committee chairman in an attempt to squash a subpoena. Let's take a listen to what Congressman Elijah Cummings had to say about the lawsuit Thursday.
The president is suing me because I'm doing my job, which is very interesting. And the president has made a decision that he is going to block every single effort that the Congress makes to find him accountable. But I want to promise the citizens of our state and the citizens of the country that I'm going to do my job.
Is non-compliance from the White House a sustainable strategy?
It's really interesting. Amid all of this White House campaign chatter, you have a real fight going on between the administration and House Democrats on oversight and the role of executive privilege. Chairman Cummings has been trying to get, for instance, a former White House personnel official who handled security clearances. They've been trying to get him before the committee, and he refused to show up for a deposition. So there's a question of how you get him to talk. The underlings told the committee that he may have not allowed, he allowed, some people who are unqualified for security clearances to get those. So there's a fight over that. You have a separate issue where the chairman of that Ways and Means Committee is trying to get the president's taxes from the last 6 years, and there are real questions whether the administration is going to provide those taxes. Steven Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, has said he needs more time and we'll get back to them on May 6th. But in the totality, I think you're going to see a real fight drag out over the next year or two, and this could, in all likelihood, just lead into the courts. And you have a lot of Democrats who are concerned that if this thing drags out, you may not have a resolution during the first term of the administration. And does this basically allow President Trump to run out the clock and prevent this oversight from taking place?
Ken Thomas, thank you very much.
Thanks, Vicki.